you need to know. Look, warranties are there to help cover major issues, but they don't cover everything.
Right.
And they don't always cover all of it.
This is Las Vegas Real Estate Now with local real estate expert Harvey Blankfeld.
So, I always welcome agents to have me talk to their potential their clients on the potential purchase of a warranty.
Mm-hmm.
Totally happy to talk about true stories, good, bad, honest,
Right.
And I had somebody that I spoke to the other day that he wasn't going to go with us because our trade call fee or deductible or whatever you want to call it was $15 more than a competitor that he was looking at. So ours is $100, theirs is $85. I knew exactly that company because of that price. And when you go in and you look and it's like, but they have an aggregate of $1,500 for HVAC that they're going to do max. And they have an aggregate of this for, $500 on an appliance. And they have an aggregate of this. And so there's all these loopholes. And so what they put on their front page to, no limit on this and no limit on that. And they have all these sparkly and flashy things. And they undercut that trade call fee. And so, hey, it's great that you're saving $15, but when you need your AC covered, and now you maybe have a maximum of $1,500 that's going to be covered,
and it's $6,000,
and it's a lot more than $6,000. I mean, that it's a
Start
coupon.
to sound a lot like medical insurance.
Yeah, it's certainly. We're governed by the insurance commission of each state, and. It's just, to me, it's a coupon. You're still saving money. And if you're comfortable with that, then yay for you.
Yeah.
But for me, it's a lot easier to come up with $1,500 than it is to come up with $4,500.
Right.
There you go.
Respectfully. So it's one of those things where I think that it's important that things can look flashy and look right, and it's all in the verbiage, but it's also, I could put in here, there's a system, whether it's your water heater or your air conditioning unit.
Right.
But then there's additional parts if you're going to be replacing it. There's permits that you might need.
Yeah.
There's code upgrades. There might be modifications that are needed. And those things, although needed in order to complete the job, are not part of the system.
Right.
And so it's this gray area of what do you cover, what do you not? Do you need a crane? Do you have to pay to haul it away? And because now they charge to haul it away, and which is ridiculous because they're making money off of that scrap metal. But I digress. But so it's and there's companies out there that depreciate. There's companies so the older the system you have, the less they're going to cover on it. There's companies that have an obsolete parts clause. So if the parts are obsolete, they no longer have to cover your systems.
They don't just buy me a new one anymore?
Nope.
That's what they used to do, just buy me a brand new one.
Right. So those are the things that people aren't reading that fine print or that.
How do I even find all this? I don't know what all these questions are to ask.
So my biggest thing that is, number one, you talk to me. You talk to somebody that is alive.
But you're not a real person, right?
All right. But I also say if somebody will send you a brochure that's digital, Control F is my favorite function because I put in specific verbiage.
Gives people like the middle finger or something? What does that do?
My middle fingers stick up for me all the time.
But, there you go.
But I when I do Control F, I can put in a phrase or a word, and I can look and see what somebody else is covering or not.
Okay. Right.
And to me, it's like, because nobody's reading it. Every single page.
Well, you got to be an attorney to understand all that stuff anyway. I mean, half of it's like,
how do you imagine every circumstance?
And you can't. And so that's why, if I'm given the opportunity to speak, to potential buyers, that I can talk to them and I can tell them real stories about some of the most expensive things or some of the most frequent things, and at least set an expectation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think that it's smart. And I like that. The reason we do business with you guys is because of that, because we know that there's value and price, and you guys create value.
Yes.
And that's what we're talking about. There's value in your warranty that other warranty companies may or may not provide. Look, saving $15 on a trade call, that's silly to me. That's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't say anything to him, and I don't wish anything bad on people, but when you're buying an 18-year-old home that has an original AC,
he's going to.
Good luck.
Here's what's going to happen.
Is it sufficient for just me to read the exclusions section of the contract? Is that a thing?
Yes. I mean, everybody should have that. And she should provide it. What we exclude, we exclude systems that have been party to a class action lawsuit because at some point, someone had the opportunity to be made whole.
Yeah.
And
they didn't do it.
And they didn't do it.
Yeah.
And so I keep asking, because I do have a voice to be able to submit ideas. I would love us to have a timeline on that, because if it didn't fail in 5 or 10 years after, it probably wasn't faulty.
Yeah.
But I don't make the ultimate decision. I just give my suggestions,
Right.
So, and on one of our plans, we don't cover systems that are under a manufacturer's warranty.
Right.
But on other plans, we cover the labor on it. We still will rely on the manufacturer. So there's a lot,
Yeah.
little things that...
Just because a deal is just because the warranty costs less doesn't mean it's a better deal.
It
just
doesn't.
because the
Sure.
deductible's less doesn't mean it's a better deal.
Nope.
You need to do a little bit of penciling out. You need to read it. I mean, you need, at least read the bullet points, for crying out loud.
Right.
The bullet points usually point out some of the major factors there, and some of them, like you said, some of them might be deceptive in terms of, hey, we'll cover a max on this or minor, but you got to read it, unfortunately.
Right.
And once you establish a relationship with a company, then you're going to want to continue that relationship. As long as they're taking good care of you, you don't have to worry about this any
Right.
longer. But spend some time initially. Let's get it done right the first time.